And we welcome you courtside here at the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino, California. Our second match of the day here on June 18th, 2022. Our fourth NVA event of the season, and now teams will begin to do some separation as we have the Las Vegas Ramblers. They are 6-1 on the year, and they are in first place in their division as they take on the 1-6 Chicago Untouchables. They are playing for their playoffs lives right now, clinging to hope in the National Central. I'm Ira Thor. He's Matt Proster, coach of the OC Stunners and broadcasting extraordinaire. And this is a match where yesterday we saw a surprise. Nick England was our man of the match. Our fellow broadcaster came out of retirement, had 14 kills to help carry Las Vegas, and Brandon Rattray had 21. A lot of storylines in this one for the Las Vegas Ramblers. And to get us set up for this matchup, we're going to send it to the sideline. Third member of our crew, it's Noah Chast, with the coach and star of the Las Vegas Ramblers, Nick England.
Thank you, Ira. You said it. Star, coach, man of the match, Nick England. Nick, I thought you retired after yesterday's performance.
Yeah, I've said that one a couple times. No, I thought we were going to have Jordan Hoppy back in the lineup today, but he can't make it. We did add Joel Auerkamp back in, so he'll be on the right side, Rattray and myself on the outside. But same mindset as yesterday, right? Doesn't matter who we got. Get the guys out there and get ready to play.
What changes adding Joel at the very least?
It's sometimes more of the same. It means we can move Rattray around. We still got Ryan Schickling ready to go in reserves. Josh Duarte also making his return in the middle today. So we got some more numbers. Spencer not feeling well, so he won't be here, but we do have Tanner Maxwell in reserve. So a couple more moves that we can make. The thing is, Joel brings a lot of size, a lot of physicality. So moving him into the right, moving Rattray to the outside kind of lets me take a little bit of a back seat today and pass a couple balls and let the guys swing.
Is there, an objective you have or a mission for today's offense?
Swing big, look good, be flashy. I want consistency out of the guys. That's the thing when Rattray switches from the right to the left. I want a little bit more swing management. I want to see the guys continue to be aggressive with their serving. We're one of the most ace-heavy teams in the league, so we win through that service pressure. And we'll see how Rattray handles serve receive once again, but I'm consistent. I'm confident the boys are ready to come out and play some good ball.
This is a Chicago team that's in full spoiler mode right now. Yeah. How do you combat that?
Oh, they're definitely scary. I've said that from day one. My picks, I respect this team. They've got guys that can play. So you just don't overdo it to start. Ease into the game, start with some good passing, get your middles involved, and from there, everything just kind of falls into place. But there's at no point do you think that, Will Ragland's the worst guy to think that he's going to roll over. That guy's going to play so long as his legs are attached to his body. So respect that, respect what those guys are doing, and definitely not a match to be taken lightly.
Another 14 kills coming?
Maybe 12. We'll see.
Maybe 12. Let's keep count, Ira. We'll send it back to you guys.
That might be the best pregame interview in the history of the NVA. There was so much to unwrap there. You had the match insight. You had him giving analysis live of what we can expect, and we had a self-deprecating prediction. What more could you ask for as the Las Vegas Ramblers? They have won 3 in a row. They have only lost once this year, and that one was a questionable one indeed. As they lost 24-22 in the 5th set against the Texas Tyrants. That one came back on May 7th in a battle of the unbeatens. Again, 6-1, they lead the American Coastal. Chicago Untouchables 1-6. They've lost their last 2. They're still very much alive, and that is because the LA Blaze lost earlier today in 4 sets to an undermanned, now unbeaten New Jersey Freedom squad. They're 7-0, the only team in NVA history to ever go 7-0, and they did it with, half their roster out this week and didn't make a difference. So that loss and a upset today by Chicago, which we're not expecting, but if it does indeed happen, would certainly make things a little bit more interesting in the National Conference as we wrap up this 4th event this weekend. And then, of course, the 5th event and final one of the regular season will occur the 2nd weekend of July, 3 weeks from now. Let's look at the starting lineup, say, first for Chicago. And, let's take a look at the middles, because I think that is where the difference in this one is. Las Vegas has the advantage there, especially with Matt Knigge. Going to look against some less experienced middles, we have Christian Pazinski and Camille Garbowski. They can play, but can they play at the level of Matt Knigge? Most likely not.
Well, it's going to be hard to say, and the Ramblers are definitely going to rely on Matt Knigge as well. He's really come on strong for this team after getting into the program here before the last event after finishing up his professional season overseas. So it will be a big challenge for the Untouchables to slow down Kanigi along with the other Rambler hitters as well.
So Garbowski, number 30, Kaczynski, number 28, are your middles. The outsides, Will Ragland, who, as Nick appropriately said, will play until his legs fall off. He's one outside. The other outside, Tim Callahan, all 6'2" and 1/4 inch of him. Peter Nemiotko's the right side. He wears number 1. Ron Dunwell-Stead, he wears number 5. And the reliable Jordan Robinson wearing number 16, the libero for the Chicago Untouchables. As we take a look at the Las Vegas Ramblers, what will they get out of Brandon Rattray today? Yesterday, 21 kills in 34 swings, hit a 62% rate, but they had 3 players in double figures. We talked about Nick. You know, we like to bust his chops, but he, showed us something for real yesterday. 14 kills, only 2 errors in 25 swings. He's on the outside right now with Brandon Rattray. Of course, as we mentioned, back out there is Antoine Aguillard, and he'll be joined today by Josh Duarte. Michael Keegan will be handling the setting. And Joel Auerkamp has returned. He missed the match yesterday in the Ramblers' 3-1 win over the Tornadoes, but he's back out there. He'll be on the right side. And, of course, the lib today, Ryan Nugian. I'll tell you what, if we get 8 to 10 kills out of Nick today, combined with the effort he had yesterday, we're never going to hear the end of this.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Nick can bring to the table for his team. We'll see how he's feeling, how those legs are feeling after yesterday's 14-point performance. His heart's in it for sure. For sure. His head's there as well. It's a matter of how his body responds to that challenge that he stepped up to yesterday for. And, fortunately for the Ramblers, they've got Ryan Schickling on the bench. He's available. Josh Duarte, although he's more of a middle. And Tanner Maxwell could possibly play a little outside if absolutely necessary.
And we started off not so excitingly with a service error. Michael Keegan looking like me in warm-ups. If you look at the tease I did for this match, which is on my Instagram and hopefully on NVA USA, on my Instagram at Ira P. Thor. You see me jump serving. What America didn't see is, took me a couple takes to get that right.
Wait, you were jump serving today?
I jump serve all the time. It's just, my percentage of actually landing in the right spot where I'm aiming, it's under 50% right now.
I missed that one. I gotta find this.
Let's just say that took me more than one take. 1-1 as Brandon Rattray serves for the first time. That one can be carried off the court, coming our way. An ace for Rattray. I think the bigger question, by the way, is if Nick goes off again today, is that going to be enough to entice Matt Prosser to come out of retirement?
Absolutely not. Don't get your hopes up.
Throwing down the gauntlet there. That's kept up by Keegan. Here's England. First chance to swing today. They go to Namiotko. Too tight. Put down by England. The king is back in his throne.
England taking care of that overpass nicely. Not trying to hammer it, just being very smart and efficient.
It's a 3-1 lead. Rattray serving again. Blocked back and stuffed by Duarte and Auerkamp.
Well, that's a nice move by the Rambler, blocking Antoine Aguillard, Joel Auerkamp, both getting shoulder to shoulder, deflecting that ball right back to the middle back area, just out of reach of the libero.
Perfect spot for that put back by the Ramblers. And another block, back to back, stuff to stuff. And that will force Chicago to have a discussion. Nothing working for the Untouchables right now, and they need to figure this out quickly because the Ramblers are the type of team that could take you out of a match in the blink of an eye. We'll take a break and come back for more here on NVA USA. Back here after the first timeout for the Untouchables. Vegas on top. Dug up by Rattray. Auerkamp is a little bit behind him, but he's able to still put it in a useful spot. And that's Peter Namiatko terminating the play, the former NJIT standout. And a 5-2 lead now as the Untouchables side out. Here's Kamil Garbowski, Clifton, New Jersey native. He's just 24 years old. He's a youngster. And an ace down the line, Garbowski. Misfires that time. And the side out, Matt Carnegie back out there. That's good news for Vegas. And Duarte, I'd take that back. It'll be Aguiard to serve. That's blasted out of the back row. Will Ragland showing he's got two legs. We're disappointed in referee Patrick Bradley for not keeping that out of the table. You had two jobs. Here's Peter Namiatko.
And you barely did that. Good serve.
Here's Nick England again. England tooling the block. Who is this masked man? He's going to drop the mic after this weekend as the greatest semi-retired offensive player in NVA history. Here's Auerkamp. Auerkamp's 31 years old, and that is an ace for the ages.
His first serve of the match gets the ace. The lefty opposite hitter. Jump serving from the left side of the court, changing up that angle and trajectory for the passers.
Good pass by Robinson considering the location. Namiatko, that's blocked back. Dunn goes back to Peter, and this time able to tool the block as they keep going after the former Highlander. Namiatko, one of the top New Jersey products to play collegially in the last, half decade or so. And an ace for Chicago. They get in the ace column for the first time. Second time correction. I already forgot about Camille's blast. Got to work on this short-term memory. Maybe we can get Prevagen as a sponsor of the NVA.
You know, it's the first thing to go once you get closer to 50.
I thought it was the waistline. That is blocked back. The hairline's fortunately doing okay. As Rattray misfires there. That was an off-balance attempt for Brandon. Didn't get a chance for a full approach. England precise pass. Auerkamp splits the block. Nick England will drop back to serve just in time. Entering the building is his wife, Ari, and his newborn son, Ollie the dog. Here's Will Ragland. Cross-court smash.
Now, Will Ragland's going to be a very key player today for the Untouchables. He was relatively quiet in yesterday's loss to the Stunners. But really, Ragland has to produce some points for their team. They need his offensive production to be on point today.
They had to follow that one closely out of bounds, but Manugian watching that serve sail wide. So Matt Carnegie will serve. It's 10-8. Vegas has been in front since the get-go. Ragland, a little tight there from the back row, Callahan. Another chance here for the Untouchables. Here's Namiatko cross court, and he gets it. That's good ball movement for Chicago.
Now, Chicago playing with some good emotion right now, staying in this set against the Ramblers, only down by 1, so they're trying to find that groove, playing together here and trying to get their win this weekend.
Listen, you got guys for the Untouchables who were unavailable this weekend for a multitude of factors. You got to play with who you got, and they're playing today. This is a very good Ramblers squad in Chicago. Triple block. Garbowski, Namiatko, Will Ragland showing ignore the record, throw it out the window. We are coming to play today. And they could have packed it in early, Matt, as they fell behind 5-1. They've been a different team since that timeout. Kind of got their heads back in the game.
Absolutely, great response after the timeout.
And that is a dig kill for Jordan Robinson. Brandon Rattray gave him all he could handle, and the head coach of the NJCU women's volleyball team in New Jersey showing his players that's how you play some defense. How you make defense turn into offense, quite frankly. That will carry him off of the ceiling. Keegan stays with it. And Robinson does a lot with a little. Chance here for a counter for Las Vegas. And that one will find the court. Our Camp gets it done. Here's Keegan. Over Bow, and that is Brandon Rattray doing bad things.
Right in Rattray's wheelhouse was that overpass. Untouchables better put their helmets on and watch out for that one.
That is where you go into your bunker. Here's Ragland from the right side, misfires wide. Only rotation where Will hits from the right side, and the misconnect allows Vegas to now go on a bit of a run. They've scored 3 in a row. They lead 13-11. And the run ends here. Quick play in the middle, and that allows Aguiar to get involved.
Aguiar able to make something out of that low set coming in from Keegan. Good adjustment midair.
Antoine had a good effort yesterday, 5 kills and 9 swings. Had a pair of blocks as well. And another ace from Brandon Rattray. That is a train that they can hop aboard if he can continue to lead them from behind the service line.
Yeah, that's another big swing from Brandon Rattray, hammering that serve from the inline. When he gets that toss right in his window, it'll be very dangerous from the inline that time. Into the net, though.
But he is certainly a multi-dimensional scorer. He's not one of these guys who only is going to produce at the net. He gets involved in the blocking game, you know, more so than the average pin hitter, and his service is dangerous.
Yeah, he's a very athletic volleyball player, given his height. He's about 6'4". Good jumper, obviously, very strong. And, he's had a good career so far.
He's learned a lot from playing with Nick England.
I don't know what Nick has taught him yet, but perhaps there's been a few learning lessons, you know, passed along from Nick to Brandon.
Here's Namiatko. I don't know how Vegas kept that one up, but they do. Then Rattray finding the corner.
Now that was all Michael Keegan getting the diving dig after that ball got blasted past Nick England's block. Keegan there, and then a nice attack in transition for the Ramblers. Ramblers responding from that untouchable pressure now, up by 4.
Roll shot by Namiatko, and that will not be able to be saved. Good effort by Nick as he gave up life and limb. And Namiatko, a timely roll there into no man's land. So we'll have a substitution, and for the first time we see entering the match, number 20, Noah Ricchetti, the Barrington, Illinois native. Roll shot, and that is how you answer our camp, giving Chicago a dose of its own medicine.
Yeah, our camp, credit to him to see that open court. Fireman by day, volleyball player on the weekends, finds the open court for that roll shot.
Our camp to serve. Too long, but it is interesting. The left-handed jump serve out of the left side of the court. How does that look differently if you're a player receiving on the Chicago side of the court versus what you traditionally see out of a jumper?
Well, it's almost a mirror image of what you typically see from a right-handed server from the right side of the court. If you don't have any lefties on your team, which the Untouchables don't have, you don't see it very often. So it's just a different trajectory, different path of the flight, different flight path of the ball off the server's hands, and so it's a change of scenery. For the passers, they almost have to change their angles from a whole 180-degree flip from what they're usually seeing to the opposite to counteract it.
How do you possibly practice that if you don't have a lefty in practice? Is there any way to really prepare for that?
I don't believe that there is any way to prepare for it if you don't have a lefty in your gym.
So that becomes a weapon that's almost unwritten for a team like Las Vegas when taking on a team like Chicago.
And it's very common that you'll see every left-hander that's a wing hitter or opposite player serve from the left side of the court, right, as a left-handed hitter server.
As Namiatko misses that one wide, the Vegas lead is 20-16, and Chicago is going to call a timeout. We'll take a quick break, come back for more action here in San Bernardino. As we return to action, Nick England missing long. And side out back over to Chicago. This is Christian Pazinski at Hillsborough, New Jersey. Over on one, Ron Dunn. The play is done. That one is left short, so it goes back to Vegas here. We say hello to Ryan Mather, who is watching this match. He was unable to be with his club this weekend, one of the top scorers for the Ramblers and in the NVA as a whole. Among the players and friends of both programs watching this one from somewhere in the world.
Nice to see that Ryan can get into that live chat and support his team from somewhere other than the Pierce Sports Arena here. Ryan, we're doing well.
Everybody's got phones now. You can watch the match on your phone and comment at the same time. Good world we live in here. As that one is a back row line violation on our camp. And, well, look at this. Chicago, they have pulled back within one, 21-20. Yet another effective timeout that has kind of had them recompose.
We've kind of been talking about this throughout the whole weekend and the season, the momentum, right? The game of runs that volleyball is, especially after a timeout. Your team gets to regroup, catch their breath a little bit, come back and go on their own little mini point-scoring run. Here's a pass from Nick. And
that's just a power tip by Brandon Rattray.
Yeah.
Andrew Lee, who is offended, the coach of the Chicago Untouchables, who couldn't be here this weekend, offended that we didn't give him a shout-out. You get a shout-out after a power tip. That is how you do it. Or should we give Andrew shout-outs only during challenges, since that is apparently his forte? He has perfected the use of review.
He has, certainly.
He's no Justin Beaumont, though.
No, he's definitely not, and there is only one Justin Beaumont in this world for sure, and there's a service ace.
That is a Raglan ace. I thought he may have had a foot fault in that one. I'm not going to say it loudly enough so Vegas has a reason to replay, challenge that one, but that is an ace for Raglan, and it is 22-all. Oh, it's back-to-back, and Will has given the Untouchables the unlikely lead. Timeout, Vegas. They'll take a break to figure things out. Still very much alive here in game number one. We'll be back for more. Back here courtside, Ira Thor, Matt Prosser, Noah Chast is somewhere in this place. Nick England's here too, but he's playing, and his team has just tied it up on the kill from the right side, 23 apiece.
Well, that's a big side out for the Ramblers there. Rattray out of the back row. Too much heat for the Untouchables to handle, so tied at 23 points apiece now at the business end of set number one. Ira?
I love that terminology, and Brandon Rattray is all business. He's already got a pair of aces. And that is put through, a timely kill from Kamil Garbowski to neutralize the Brandon Rattray service train. And this gives Chicago an unlikely set point as Garbowski will serve. That will actually become a pretty good pass. Blocked back, chance for Vegas to tie. They go to our camp down the line, and he goes headhunting. Will Raglan, lucky to be alive.
That one definitely took the head off, caught Raglan right in the mustache.
Listen, if you think watching this match at home, hey, these balls aren't coming that fast, I could play this game, I dare you to come watch this in person. I watched the entire last match on the New Jersey Freedom sideline.
You were also looking
Nick England with the timely overkill.
You were also taking pictures of Coach Edra's shoes on the sideline.
They were quite something. But you get a new appreciation for how fast the ball is coming when you're sitting on the sideline and not behind the table or behind a screen. That ball comes at you in a blink of an eye. Life comes at you fast. And that is an answer for Chicago, Tim Callahan.
Yeah, we have talked about it a little bit, testing the limits of human reaction times, right? Ira, when you watch volleyball, the speed at which the ball is attacked, the velocity behind it. Unfortunately, Will Ragland not able to react fast enough that time.
I don't know how many people would be able to respond fast enough. As Matt Carnegie for the first time today gets involved in the offense. And that gives Vegas set point. I think that was Matt's first swing of the match.
Yeah, we haven't said his name very much offensively yet.
So 26-25 for our camp. And that is narrowly long. And Vegas is going to challenge whether that clipped the line.
I think it's a good idea. It also ices the server. So really, it could effectively just bring us to a tie if the serve was out, but you never know, might catch the in line. Just needs the compression to be on the line for the point, as we are going to be able to get a good review here this time.
We are thrilled about this. Something we've been asking for with our production crew since the start of the season, as we added a brand new review system to the NVA this year. The challenge was how to take their technology, which was 100 frames per second of picture magic, and be able to tie that into the broadcast. And, well, with some MacGyver-esque moves, we have been able to do this. So we're going to watch the replay, and in a second, once we get the right angle, we're going to bring it up here on the broadcast and allow Mr. Worldwide Broadcaster Matt Prosser to take us through what we're looking at. And there you see it, Matt. Watch him slow down, slow down, slow down. Did it clip it? They're going to go, they have 10 cameras to work with.
Just making sure we got the right camera with the right angle.
That looks pretty in to me.
Looking for the compression on that black line.
Ooh, now it doesn't look so in.
No, you're right. Now it's not so far in. Yeah. Looks like it's going to be a service error. Although right there.
That looks into me. I think right there. That's one frame back. I thought that was in. Question is, when does it touch the court? When can you slip a piece of paper underneath? And they're saying it was just out.
So confirmed that that ball was called out of bounds. I like that challenge being used. It does give the point to the Untouchables, but we're now tied at 26 apiece.
Well, thank you to Lloyd Stevens from R3 Digital Video, our challenge review system, working with our production team to figure out how to get that on the air. We like you, and Chicago likes to triple block their second triple of the opening set, and they now have set point.
Well, a triple block on Brendan Rattray's big attack in transition works nicely for the Untouchables.
And Chicago has their third set point to work with now, 27-26. Well, I mean, we're going to keep it here, as this is going to be a quick one for Las Vegas. Listen, Brendan Rattray is the focal point of your offense. And when their triple block for Chicago is able to close in on him, again, Chicago's playoff hopes right now are on thin ice. However,
thin ice, yes.
I mean, the guys out here are playing. They have pride, and you're seeing the outcome of guys who are just going to leave it all out there.
Well, and this is one of the things about the Untouchables. They do play with a lot of pride, and they're very dangerous. You heard it from Nick England at the beginning of the match in the interview that you do have to respect this team as an opponent. They've got very big gas tanks, and they're never going to just fold it up and vanish. So right now, set point opportunity for the Untouchables.
Carnegie Robinson able to get a hand on it, and Ron Dunn narrowly misses on the putover. And that will tie it up. So the Las Vegas Ramblers are very used to playing into extra points, as they've gone deep multiple times this year. In fact, yesterday against their Tornadoes, they lost the first set 28-26. So they can't play from behind if they lose this one. Nick able to get a dig on that one, and he'll just dump this over after Manoogian keeps it alive. Chicago to take the lead. No, sir. Matt Carnegie with the stuff.
Well, a huge stuff down right there by Carnegie, but credit to Nick England with the scoop in the back row, diving to save that ball, keep it in play, and then just a free ball back to the Untouchables, but Carnegie with the shutdown.
Nick England on set point, their second chance for Las Vegas. Ragland to tie. No! Is it stuffed back by Keegan and Carnegie, and Las Vegas survives in game one, 29-27. The Untouchables threw all they had at the Ramblers, and Las Vegas did just enough to prevail. We'll take a break, come back for game number 2, live from the Pure Sports Center here in San Bernardino. Back here courtside, our Thor, Coach Matt Prosser, and Noah Chast is here as well. He'll have some fun stuff to tell us when he has fun stuff to tell us. As we are back, Chicago trying to rally from a disappointing first set where they were right there, multiple opportunities, and let it slip away, but they start with a kill. We do have 4 members of this broadcast crew. It's easy for me to say. Nick England is trying to put up an answer to yesterday's heroic effort, and his team has tied it up. But we look at the numbers from game number 1, and the Ramblers hit 47%. I got to give Chicago credit. They only hit 38% as a team and still were able to take into extra points 29-27. The numbers so far see Brandon Rattray with 4 kills, but it's our camp leading the way. He didn't play yesterday. He has 5 kills today. And if you're curious, Nick England, 3 kills in 6 swings, as everything is breaking here at the Pierce Sports Center.
Now the effort, you have to applaud the effort from the Ramblers, chasing that ball down, running out of real estate here, but making a good effort to get that ball up.
Well, fortunately for Ryan Manoogian, those Mikasa signs are, they give. They're not made of concrete, so he'll be just fine, as will our camp with another blast. Kill number 6. I'm just happy to see that the 27-foot tripod with the phone attached, where we're getting some bonus footage for social media. Second time today it has been collided with, and the balance, the support in those legs, they should be a sponsor of the NVA.
Very sturdy over there, yeah.
I mean, that right there is great product placement.
Quality craftsmanship.
We don't know where it was made, whether it was made here in America or made in China or somewhere in between, but great tripods. That, however, is not great communication.
Not so much. Our camp backing off, expecting to get set, and Keegan couldn't get there, so.
4-2 lead for the Untouchables. Matt Prosser has decided to stand up at this point in the broadcast, so due to pure pressure, so will I. Better angle at this. I can see the ball clearly now. Look at this. Here's Peter Namiotko, finds the slot between Keegan and Rattray. I miss Noah Chest. Hopefully he'll...
I think Noah might be off taking a nap.
Is he? I mean, he's entitled to one. He works hard. He runs the post-game press conferences. If you haven't seen those, they're all on our YouTube channel on NVA USA, where you'll see nice swings like that from Matt Knigge. It's also on our YouTube channel where you're watching today's broadcast. We will not be on YouTube forever, but we'll tell you more about that as we get to July, as that jumper is left short. That is a hint. You have to stay with us.
I believe we call that a tease.
As that is left short. So Nick England, 6'4", his team trails. His dog Ollie is watching and will be unimpressed if this is not a good serve. That is a great serve for England. And an ace. Ollie rejoices.
Pretty sure Ollie's asleep over there in his dog bed, but I'm sure Nick will show him the replay later. They can all watch together tonight on the couch in the living room.
I think his wife Ari's rejoicing. She at least cracked a smile. They go to Rattray, a little bit behind him, but good use of the high hands, tooling the block. And Vegas has scored 2 in a row here behind the service of Nick England. It's all sleeve all the time. Bless you over there. Big sneezes courtside. Everybody wants that over ball. Nobody got it on. Miscommunication between Knigge and Rattray gives Chicago the side out.
Unfortunate play that time for the Ramblers side.
In case you were wondering who I was, actually having manners, I was saying bless you to Kenzie Shan. She's our head statistician. That's where we have all these fancy numbers. I'm not just making it up. He's the assistant volleyball coach at Kenyon College in Ohio. Got to give a shout out to the lords and ladies. Actually, they're about to be called the Owls. They have rebranded. I know way too much about small college sports. I need to see a doctor. Brandon Rattray, a 180-degree turn. From their back row, Callahan misfires. And we're at Las Vegas within a one again. Here is Matt Carnegie, three-time All-American at Vassar College. They are the Brewers. Not because, you know, they make beer or anything. That's not where the name comes from, I don't believe.
Ira, I'll take obscure college mascot names for 1,000, please.
Oh, man, I'll win triple jeopardy if that happens. That is too long by our count. I spent 20 years as a assistant AD in college, so you see a lot of schools over the years at all levels. And you know, my short-term memory might be gone, but my long-term memory, once it's in there.
Got a good, strong foothold in your mind, right?
Yeah. 50 years from now, when I'm sitting in my rocker in Key West, I'll remember this moments with you, Matt Prosser, including blocks like that.
I'm glad
but I won't remember how I got to the rocker.
So glad I got a spot in that memory of yours, Ira. I'm honored.
I'm just hoping I'll still be here in 50 years. I'll be 95.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
I mean, my grandfather was 96. I think, you know, we got a realistic shot.
There you go.
Although I do have to drive from here to LAX on the way home, so you know that could certainly limit my lifespan.
Tell me about it. Something. Gotta be careful out there on the road.
Caesar, our director, just informed us upstairs that he nearly met his untimely fate yesterday, leaving this facility, and that's an untimely fate for that block. Chicago with the big stuff, but there's the conversation from the Vegas sideline wanting to consider challenging, I believe, whether there was a net. They have decided otherwise, though, Matt. And the lead is 11-8. That's their largest lead for Chicago of the day. England with the reception. Here is Brandon Rattray. Over ball, oh! Our camp blasted into the depths of California.
Depths of hell, but I didn't want to take the broadcast outside PGA level.
Ira, I think the entire gym heard that one. And I meant your call, not our camp's hammer of that overpass.
I mean, I have that copyrighted. I have the hammer. I'm Thor. There's Namiatko. Good touch there by Keegan to keep it alive. England, the running attack. Chance for Chicago to counter. Will Ragland is able to split the block for the Chicago side out. I will say in all the matches we've called together, that was probably the first ball that was literally straight down.
It was a very powerful overpass attack from our camp for sure.
That was at the 1 foot line. Little bit tight, and that will be won by Kamil Garbowski for Chicago on the joust.
A little bit of a run here from Untouchables, up to a 4-point advantage now.
And a little too long there by Ragland. So Carnegie's back in. And here is Antoine Aguiar to serve. Robinson, textbook pass. Peter Namiatko swinging away. Blocked down. This is run down by Dunn, and Namiatko extends the play. They go to Matt Carnegie, and he finds the kill. And Carnegie was a 3-time All-American at Vassar, and probably one of the top Division III players of all time. The numbers and the accolades all back that statement up. Vassar was never really a contender for a national championship, but they were certainly a continual postseason team, and Las Vegas with yet another ace. Antoine Aguiar getting in the ace column.
Yeah, Antoine going with that jump float serve right down the line. Catching Ragland. Leaning one direction and couldn't handle that one.
That's 6 aces for each team right now, and Kamil Garbowski with a kill out of the middle. Ragland and Rattray, both for each team, have 2 aces, but there's a lot of players getting involved from behind the service line, applying pressure. Panigi, no! Shut down the stuff for Christian Pazinski.
Yeah, Pazinski better be thanking Auerkamp for getting in the way of that ball because it was clearly going out of bounds. Auerkamp reacting in the less than favorable way for the Ramblers, that ball bouncing off him on the way out.
And that serve left short. So Auerkamp, 8 kills so far. That leads everybody. 1 ace, and he's been involved in 2 blocks. He'll serve. Namiatko able to split the block. And at 16-13, Chicago on top. That'll take us to our tactical timeout. Game number 2, the Untouchables down a set, trying to tie it up. More to come here from the Pierce Sports Center. We're back. Peter Namiatko the serve. Joel Auerkamp the response.
Wow, what a big swing by Auerkamp from the right side. Out of the back row, crushes that ball down the line.
Auerkamp is underrated, but the 6'7" right side is a force to be reckoned with. When he is on, look out.
And left-handed, too.
Nick England with the serve. Nick's keeping it on the court. Coming our way, Matt Prosser. Good reaction time, keeping it out of our laps. So the Untouchables 17-14.
Ramblers have to play with some sense of urgency here. They want to try to get back into this one, down by 3.
There's an answer for Brandon Rattray, as he picks up kill number 6 along with 2 aces. The Ramblers have won 3 in a row. They're 6-1 on the year. 3 of those 6 wins have been sweeps. 2 have gone to 5 sets that they've won. They've also lost the 5-setter to the Tyrants. Yesterday was the first 4-setter that they played. And I am offended as that one came right into the living room. Took out my computer. Don't you MacBook cost nowadays?
Too much.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost the same price as a gallon of gas. So the kill gives the side out. Noah Ricchetti will serve for Chicago. Here's Rattray. And he gets another. And he takes out the court divider, Mikasa. Mikasa ball takes out the Mikasa signage. I love that ball, by the way. I was serving with that to warm up my vocal cords. So much better than some of the other balls. Ping pong, that's not coming back.
Oh, it almost made it over.
England. He and his friends are trying to rally here, and an ace by Keegan is going to help that cause. 17-18. A 1-point deficit now for the Ramblers. Here's Keegan, the look to tie. Ragland, oh, well disguised, tip top, and sent over. What a save by our camp and Brandon Rattray. And England, frustrated, but that looked like redirected with a touch at the net, Matt.
It did. That was a good effort from both sides. Nice defensive play by the Ramblers as that ball kind of, ricocheted around a little bit. Good on them to keep it up, but Untouchables running that offense through the middle on the counterattack and then just out of reach of Nick England's defense.
Well, when you can pass, you can use the middles, and that changes everything. And yesterday, Chicago did not have that luxury as they were taken apart by the Stunners, both their service game and also, quite frankly, just the Stunners' ability maybe not terminate all of their blocks, but get so many touches on it that Chicago ran out of answers. Big swing there out of the right side will fall in for Rattray.
That was a big swing from Rattray on the right, like you said, Ira. Nice defense by Chicago, just running out of real estate again as that ball went up into the crowd.
That's one of the things I'm most impressed about with your team is, yeah, you're going to get the big stuffs by the Nick West and the Beamers and company of the world, but they touch almost everything, even if it's not a termination.
Sometimes that deflection is almost as good as a block point, especially if you can get the chance to counterattack off of it. But
what also really helps suffocate hitters, as we are now tied at 19. Vegas has rallied all the way back. We'll take a break as the Untouchables will discuss.
Very close call that time. I think that's the right call, the overrule.
I think, yeah, you see Nick England and company immediately put up the C in their hand. They are going to challenge whether that was in or out.
Linesman called it out, but then it was overruled by our first official.
And Patrick Bradley, our R2 for this one, does confirm they are challenging in or out. Your officiating crew for this one, Stephen Shepard's in the R1 chair. Patrick Bradley, the R2. Rena Smith is the official on the Untouchables sideline. Joe Aguiar on the tough call there on the Las Vegas side of the court. Of course, we got to give some love to our official scorer, Katie Mahoney. So we will momentarily take a look at this replay. Let's take a look live here, Matt. In or out? Oh, that's in. That's definitely in. Look at that. No question about that one.
Good overrule from our first official there.
And the kill for our camp here on the counter.
Strong attack there from our camp on the right side. Brings us to 20-20 in set number 2.
Will Ragland with the kill.
First official overruled it, called it in. Then they challenged the overrule. So our camp steps into set to Rattray.
Wow, look at Brandon Rattray out of the back row, able to work with a broken play. Las Vegas out of system, Matt. Yeah, finding ways to score points.
That's a big point, especially with an out-of-system setter stepping in and Rattray taking care of it.
So we are tied 21-21. That's a very favorable score if you live in Las Vegas. And that's a violation on Carnegie. As he interfered with Pazinski, we see the two of them slap hands. Good sportsmanship between the two middles. 22-21. As Peter Namiatko gets set to serve, as they do some court maintenance. These guys are sweaty. England pops that one up. Gives Brandon Rattray plenty of room to attack with.
Back-to-back kills by Brandon Rattray, both on out-of-system plays, attacking from the middle back position.
That puts Brandon into double figures in kills. He is now tied our camp. Each has 10. And we've only played less than a full 2 sets. 22-22. And here is Nick England. And a misfire from England. So Chicago, they had multiple chances to win game number 1. 1 point lead here for Tim Callahan. England swinging away. And this will be saved and sent over. Another chance here for Vegas, and Carnegie comes through.
Now the passing is broken down for the Ramblers, but they've been able to work through it based off their defense and then their free ball transition attacking. That time Carnegie getting the set from Keegan, maybe a little bit low, but still effective, and we're tied at 23s now.
Matt Carnegie fluent with more languages than I knew existed. Serving away for Las Vegas. England is there. Rattray with the tip. Saved off the net. And the call is 4 touches on Vegas.
That's the right call. Is after that first play, the ball went off of Antoine's chest and then played up again for that 4th contact.
So Chicago, who I believe had 3 different set point opportunities in game number 1, has their first here in game 2. Good pass by England. They go to Rattray. Brought back by Ragland and sent over. Second chance for Vegas. A little bit behind Rattray, but it doesn't matter. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway because it looks like Chicago was into the net, but Brandon Rattray getting the result nonetheless. So we are all square at 24. Chicago 0 for 4 now in set point opportunities in this match. Keegan the serve. They go back to Brandon, and why not? Go to your proven weapon. And he gives Las Vegas set point. 25-24. Timeout Chicago. Got a feel for the Untouchables. They are right there, and they've been right there in so many matches this year and just cannot find the solution. They call timeout. We'll take a quick break to finish this one up. Set point for Keegan and company. Dug up by England and over. Chance for Chicago. Ragland, that one will tie it up. As another good timeout for the Untouchables. And look at this, we will play further into extra points for the second set in a row. It'll take at least 27 to win this one.
Overtime volleyball again here in set number 2, Ira. And can't say I'm surprised by it. Just trying to give the people what they want to see here.
Well, the Ramblers won game 1, 29-27. Chicago this year has played as deep as 34-32 in a fourth set win over the LA Blaze. They did lose that match, however, in 5. That one lands somewhere further along in the Inland Empire. Of course, Las Vegas has played the longest fifth set we've ever seen. That was the 24-22 fifth set loss, their only loss of the year to the Texas Tyrants, in which replay certainly was part of that fifth set decision. Now Miyatko was blocked back. That was over on 1. Here's Auerkamp swinging away, and a ping pongs through everyone.
That does it. Ramblers take set 2.
Taking the set, his 11th kill, and a frustrated Chicago Untouchable squad, Matt. They have been right there knocking on the door and just can't take that step through.
Yeah, they're having a hard time. Once they hit 24 points, they're having a hard time winning both sets 1 and 2. They had multiple opportunities, but the Ramblers answering right back to win.
On the Ramblers, every time their back has been against the wall, they have come up with answers. Does Chicago have more fight in them? Set 3 coming up next from the Pierce Sports Center. Stay with us. Game 3 here at the Pierce Sports Center in San Bernardino. And, well, the Chicago Untouchables had a different look last year as some players have now joined other franchises. And Noah Chast is on the sideline with some members of the unbeaten 7-0 New Jersey Freedom, who last year played for Chicago. Noah?
Yeah, thank you, Ira. Here with man of the match, Matt Buffum and Jake Milnazik, Team Freedom players, but former Untouchables. And these are guys you also practice with because a lot of them are on the East Coast. Tell me, how much of, a microcosm is these first 2 sets, going extra points and losing, of the Untouchable season that you've seen so far?
I'd say that they're really close. And when we're practicing with these guys, like, it's incredibly competitive practice on all fronts. A lot of these guys are from Pennsylvania, where we're from. They're right there. I don't know what they're missing, but they're so close, and it's so awesome to see because we were both on this team last year. These are all of our friends that are playing over there. We think they're so close, and they're going to find it. It's just a matter of when.
And Jake, when you practice with these guys, what is it that you see that maybe isn't showing up come game day?
I'd say a lot of dog mentality, and I think a lot of these guys, we all play grass, and we all have those experience with the long side-out games. And it definitely it's all volleyball. It translates to everything. So having that dog mentality and being the one to take over, I think, is something that they can take on.
Do you think this season, even this match might be really the turning point or the closing point? Can they turn things around?
I think they can, and I think that they learned something in those first 2 sets that just because they're there in extra points, that means that they can get there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're all exactly where they are. I want to see what they do. If they're able to come back and take this game in 5, I think they got a strong case to make a push for the playoffs. It's just a matter of got to get it done here. I'm rooting for them. I think they can do it.
Speak on Captain Will Ragland. He's obviously one of the most explosive players on their team and full of emotion, clearly frustrated with the way things are going. Just tell me, what have you seen from him kind of from, behind the scenes?
Well, I'll just say Will's a baller. I got to spend a lot of time with him last year playing together, and there was some chemistry issues to start, but after that we meshed very well. He definitely likes to talk, and that's his strong suit, I would say, but all in all, he's a high flyer, and he can ball for sure. So I'd say right now is kind of finding their rhythm, right? Coming into this, we were talking, saying that this was very much a trap game for the Ramblers, and with, a team that has nothing to lose, they can come ball out and, maybe take one. So I think down 2-0 here, they can easily do the same thing.
Nice block there by the Ramblers. And tell me, it's my colleague Matt Prosser wants to know, it's very dark in this part of the arena. Why are your sunglasses on?
Well, you know what? Gotta shout out Pit Viper for the shades. Got to shout out to one of our sponsors. You know how it is.
Yeah, this is my first time actually ever wearing Pit Vipers, but I agree. Shout out the sponsor. Keep repping them.
As pro athletes on your own team watching this game, what do you think is, what would your prediction for how this set plays out? Jake, I'll start with you.
Well, when you're down 2-0, it's definitely tough. But like I said, at this point, Chicago, I think they're playing actually very well today. Some of the best volleyball I've seen them play. So you just can't get down. Like I said, the game is leaning towards like a Ramblers. If they get ahead, they can kind of take it easy. But if Chicago keeps coming out with the energy they have and they take one set, things can go a long way.
Matt, what do you see?
I think that like I said earlier, they're right there. I think that I don't know if I have a prediction. I'd say if they win this set, I think that I would pick them to win the rest of the match. But it's going to be, they're down 4 points at this point. They need to make a run now. Otherwise, I'm afraid that with the way that the first 2 sets ended, it may be a little more of the same.
Jake, my colleagues want you to answer honestly. Am I a better volleyball player or sideline reporter?
I'd say you're pretty 50-50 in both. This is our first interview together, so maybe I'll have to get more experience tomorrow.
I heard mediocre in both in my ear. Is that what you meant? Or just at both?
No, you got your skills.
I'm going to cut this interview off now before it gets ugly. We have Matt Buffum and Jake Milnazik of Team New Jersey Freedom, still undefeated, watching some of their East Coast brethren. It's currently down 6-3, maybe now 7-3. I'll send it back to Matt and Ira over at the table.
Before it gets ugly? My goodness, that was a great interview, and it wasn't much of an endorsement from Jake about his former high school teammate. Yes, Noah and Jake, they played together in high school somewhere in the hills of eastern central Pennsylvania. I mean, my money is on Noah as a sideline reporter based on what I heard there from Jake.
Yeah. Well, that was a great interview, Noah. Thanks for that. Absolutely. Get some good player insight about what's happening in the match, right? And
I think we also need some pit vipers over here courtside. I mean,
we just need someone to sponsor the broadcast team with some sunglasses as well.
Now, not just the players that are being sponsored. We do have sponsorship actually from our officials, and I want to give a shout out to Jason Jones and JBJ Events for sponsoring all of the officials apparel for the 2022 NVA season, as well as last year's 2021 NVA season. JBJ Events hosts numerous youth AAU club volleyball tournaments and qualifiers throughout the country, including, in my neck of the woods in Atlantic City, New Jersey, and Las Vegas, where this Ramblers squad calls home. Reno, Nevada, which I learned looking at a map the other day, is actually not as close to Vegas as I thought. It's a 6-hour drive. I thought about doing that. But if I do drive to Reno, it's nice to know that JBJ Events may be there as well. And, of course, they hold events in Florida and the Carolinas. So if you would like to learn more, please visit jbj-events.com. That's jbj-events.com for more information on the great tournaments they run and the apparel they've provided to this year's officiating crew in the National Volleyball Association. Thank you for your sponsorship. So now that we've paid some bills, here's a man that we pay way too much, Nick England. That'll be a deduction from his paycheck. Left that one short as the Chicago Untouchables hang around, down 9-6 here in Game 3. I'm Ira Thor, he's Matt Prosser. No Chas is now just chilling in the crowd. He's a spectator watching Matt Carnegie go to work.
Carnegie has been very strong for the Ramblers through the middle. I'd expect to see him get more opportunities in set number 3 here. Hasn't gotten a lot of kills, but when he does, they are effective.
Speaking of going to work, our next match at 3 p.m. Pacific, we'll see my partner over here go to work. I don't think the Stunners have lost a match since Matt took over. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, we lost to the Tyrants.
Oh, that's right. You lost to the Tyrants. Man, how quickly I forgot about that. So they are, what, 4-1 since you've taken over?
Correct.
It looks like I got that part right. The Stunners will take on the Dallas Tornadoes, who are going in the wrong direction. That will be a 3 p.m. matchup. The Stunners, they are 5-2. They've won 4 in a row. They are in second place behind New Jersey Freedom in the National Coastal Division. The Dallas Tornadoes, they have lost their last 2, and they're 3-4. They have now fallen into second place in the American Central Division behind the Utah Stingers. So be sure to watch that one later today. And that is a solo stuff by Brandon Rattray, looking back at his fine work. That stuff lands right on the line. Vegas extends the lead to 12-7, and Chicago, we'll see if this timeout can stop the bleeding. We'll take a break and come back for more here in the Inland Empire. Back here courtside, Michael Keegan getting set to serve here for the Las Vegas Ramblers as they are seeking their 4th 3-0 victory of the season. But they had to work. Extra points in games 1 and 2, 29-27, 27-25, And now Brandon Rattray continues to heat up when they need him most.
Well, credit to Manoogian with that nice one-handed dig off the attack. No blocker in front of him. It jumped. They stayed down, and Ryan does a nice job getting that arm out, dig that ball, and then Rattray cleans it up for the point.
Here's Will Ragland to serve. Robinson cannot save it, and Ramblers continue to roll. And an ace for Vegas. And Hulk Hogan, listening to the crowd, Brandon Rattray getting the love. I don't know if Brandon was alive when Hulk Hogan was ruling the universe, but he certainly knows the move. That's dug up by Keegan. And a power tip. Useful spot there for Rattray. And Garbowski able to end this rally. Actually, so Brandon was born in 1997. That would be roughly around the time where Hogan joined the NWO while wrestling in WCW and kind of had his career peak for the second time. One of the few wrestlers who ever did that. So maybe he's seen some of that on YouTube.
I'd say his career peaked 3 times when he had that reality series as well, you know.
True, but that also was the time where we learned about the dysfunctionality of his family. That was followed by an expensive divorce, him getting into some trouble. You know, Hulk Hogan showing his vulnerability. Poor Terry.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not important to talk about.
That's Hogan's name.
Oh, yeah.
That's Hogan's real name is Terry. It's on Wikipedia. It's got to be true. As that one is too long for Chicago. Terry Bollea is his full name. How did we get off on this tangent?
You started it. Talking about Rattray being born in 1997. Same year I graduated high school.
Well, Brandon Rattray, when he's on offensively, it comes crashing down and it hurts inside, but that one goes to Chicago as they're able to stay alive here, but still trailing 17-11. That one nearly landed in the upper level of the Pierce Sports Center. Not too many balls get up there. That is tipped. Useful spot by Carnegie.
Carnegie showing his range and control. A very useful spot indeed, Ira.
And here is Nick England to serve. Trying to will the Ramblers a little bit closer to a 2-0 weekend and their 4th win in a row. Namiyako blocked back, and good job by Jordan Robinson, the libero, to track that ball going out of bounds and knowing where he was. Zinski, the server. Smart play by Carnegie, covered by Dunn, and they're going to call the double. Or they're actually going to call a carry. Pazinski. Steven Shepard, the official, making that judgment call. So it's 19-12. Matt Carnegie from New Egypt, New Jersey. Way more exciting than Old Egypt.
So we've been told.
They have blueberries in New Egypt. That is left short.
We all talked about the blueberries yesterday, Ira.
I got to tell you, so about 4 or 5 years ago, I'm broadcasting the NCAA baseball regionals up in Syracuse, New York. And I went off on a similar story, which you can do when you have time in baseball, because there was a first baseman from New Egypt, New Jersey. And we were talking about how blueberries in New Jersey are way better than anywhere else in the country.
Oh, okay.
Well, one of the mothers of a player from another team from Cortland in upstate New York was unimpressed with New Jersey blueberries and brought us a pie the next day into the broadcast booth with blueberries from central New York. And let me tell you, it's the best damn blueberry pie I ever had in my life. And it was free, and it was on the air. And
that's a great story.
sometimes
Ira.
these tangents come with free lunch.
Sometimes. You got some food hiding around here?
I mean,
making me hungry.
I mean, I'm going to move for some fajitas right now, but I don't really think anybody's listening that has that kind of power. (2014) Vegas is on top as Keegan will drop back to serve. And that will slip through Brandon Rattray, kill number 15. And Chicago going to utilize their final timeout, see if they have any gas left in the tank. Final break for us, 21-14. Vegas looking to win in 3. Michael Keegan 4 points away from the Ramblers' 7th win of the year. Out of the timeout, Ragland able to tool the block of his counterpart Brandon Rattray, and he'll have a chance to, well, see if he can go on a late serving run here. The Untouchables right there in this match.
Now Ragland getting a little redemption on Rattray that time.
Nick England with the Bic. Too long. That's 2 in a row for Chicago. But again, I mean, you think about it, this could easily be a 2-0 lead for Chicago.
Yeah, it could.
Just couldn't get the closing points on Brandon Rattray. Just unstoppable now. When he is in a zone like this, man, he is the best player in the NVA. And that is a compliment if there was one, because of the years that players like Felix Chapman and New Jersey and multiple players for New Jersey. You know, Ian Kappa's had an incredible year, even though he's out this weekend. And so many options in the OC Sunners, quite frankly, you could even talk about. But Brandon is just a complete player out there for Las Vegas. Certainly one of the faces of the league. 22-17. This could be the last opportunity here for Camille Garbowski and company for Chicago. And that one wide of the court.
Definitely tense moments now for the Untouchables. Time running out here in this match. 23 serving 17.
England goes deep. Ragland waiting for it. Ragland swinging away, gets it to go. Rattray, ooh, change of direction there. Good pickup by Chicago. That's blocked back. And the Ramblers, I think it was Carnegie who clipped the net. And it'll be a side out for Chicago. All right, let's talk about the future here for Chicago. They lose this match, and they fall to 1-7 on the year. And the National Central, the LA Blaze are 2 games in front of them at 3-4 in the Central. The Blaze tomorrow take on the Matadors. They win that match, they would improve to 4-4, and the Blaze would clinch a playoff spot. If they lose that match, well, then we go into the final weekend of the season in July, and Chicago's still very much alive then. However, they would have a very difficult road because they'd have to take on the Tyrants on July 8th and the Untouchables then on July 10th, who likely, the Blaze on July 10th, which would create a winner, probably take all type matchup, because the Blaze have to play the Tyrants on July 9th.
Yeah,
so I don't see it's happening.
Nope.
I don't see that last match being for the playoffs, but it very well could be if Chicago wins their next one and the Blaze lose out, and then that last match could mean something. But today, it's the Las Vegas Ramblers. That is match point, and they take this third game 25-21. And after having their backs against the wall in the first 2 sets, the Ramblers showed us something. A little bit easier here in game 3. They pretty much controlled it from start to finish, and they prevail in 3 sets today. Your final score, 29-27, 27-25, and 25-21. Las Vegas, they improved to 7-1. They've won 4 in a row atop the American Coastal. Meanwhile, the Chicago Untouchables, 1-7 on the year, and they have lost 3 in a row. Brandon Rattray will be our man of the match, and why not? Rattray finished with 16 kills, 3 aces, and he also was involved in 1 block as we look at the final numbers.
Yeah.
You've got to be impressed here. Again, this could have been, and one of the players for New Jersey actually called it perfectly, said this could have been a trap match today for the Ramblers.
Definitely.
Against an untouchable squad that they're always going to fight. Throw out the record for Chicago.
Right.
They have some dog in them.
Yeah, absolutely they do, and they've got a lot of fight. And unfortunately, just for the Untouchables, just too many weapons today on the Ramblers side for them. And they had a couple of chances in set 1 and 2 to win those 2 sets, but they couldn't get it done, and then they fall in 3.
Well, Brandon Rattray has done this many, many times before, so he knows exactly how these post-game interviews work. He is standing courtside with Noah Chast, who we've learned today is a better interviewer than volleyball player.
Well, thank you, Ira. And yeah, Brandon Rattray, our man of the match, and still down Hoppy, still down Mather, but still got you. How you feeling right now?
Feeling good, The boys came out today, battled hard, gave it all we got, and got the dub, 3-0. It's nice. And big shout out to all the boys, and Mike for dishing the rock today. Did a great job setting the ball and just spacing it out and keeping those guys guessing with the block. So it was great. Good job, Mike, and the rest of the team. Nick England also, again, today, taking us to the promised land, stepping in and filling in for some of those key players that you mentioned earlier, like Hoppy and JC. So it was a great job from the team, and really happy.
Those first 2 sets, 1 extra points, ended up going your way. What does that say about the strength of this team?
Yeah, it says in crunch time, we have guys that can deliver. And we have guys with good experience, a lot of guys who play overseas year-round and take this very seriously as their full-time job, as I do. And just having experienced guys on the court next to you, and the confidence just builds with one another, and it's great to see and great to have. So it's good stuff.
16 attack points, only 2 errors and 3 service aces. I mean, is that the type of stat line you expect out of yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the only thing that really matters is you get the win, so it doesn't really matter the stat line. So it could be ugly and could have 5 kills, but we get the win, and I'm still happy. So, stats are cool and all at the end of the day, but winning is most important. And if just everyone can contribute to winning, that's where I'm happy. just like today. Just like today.
And you're certainly doing a lot of winning recently. Appreciate it. Thank you, our man of the match,
Matt.
Brandon Rattray.
Appreciate it.
Matt and Ira, send it back to you guys.
You know, one thing that really stood out for me from Brandon Rattray, and he says stats are nice. Well, he was plus 15 today when he was on the court.
Yep.
Nobody else was even in the same conversation. You look down in the stat sheet, and even on his own team, nobody else was higher than plus 6. That's Antoine Aguillard and Joel Auerkamp. Auerkamp had a great effort today. 12 kills, quieted down in that third set, but by that point, I feel like the will had been taken out of Chicago after losing those tough first 2 sets.
Yeah, Chicago definitely missed out on some opportunities to take a set victory between 1 and 2 against the Ramblers, but at the end in that third set, it was just too much Ramblers for the Untouchables to handle.
So 16 kills for Brandon Rattray, 55%, those 3 aces, the plus 15 margin. Again, a great effort today by Michael Keegan. You heard the shout out during the interview with Noah. 12 kills for Joel Auerkamp. Nick England did not have to be as involved in the scheme today with Auerkamp back in the lineup, but still finished with 5 kills. And, you know, Matt Carnegie, he's consistent out there, able to play a steady middle to help lead this Rambler squad. He finished with 6 kills today as well. The Untouchables were led. Will Ragland had 13 today, but the Untouchables, well, we'll see tomorrow when the LA Blaze complete the weekend if the Untouchables are still alive, or if the final event of the regular season will be for Pride. Meanwhile, the Las Vegas Ramblers, they continue to click on all cylinders. They improve to 7-1 in the year. They've won 4 in a row, leading the American Coastal. Our next matchup will be at 3 p.m. Pacific time as the Dallas Tornadoes look to stop what is a 2-match losing streak. They'll take on the red-hot OC Stunners. They have won 4 in a row. They are 5-2 on the year and certainly playing their best volleyball in the latter half of the season. For our entire crew, Noah Chast on the sideline, my partner Matt Prosser, and sweaty Nick England, who will shower after being victorious and join us for match number 3. I'm Ira Thor. Thanks for watching this one. Until we see you again at 3 p.m. Pacific for the Tornadoes and the OC Stunners. Be well, everybody.